Hold on, I'm getting some breaking news. It seems as though a Japanese court has ruled not acknowledging same-sex marriage unconstitutional. Oh wow, this is huge news. Although this does not mean that same-sex marriage is now legal in Japan, there would have to be another court ruling to determine that. This is a huge step towards potentially legalizing same-sex marriage in Japan. Currently, only 29 countries have legalized same-sex marriage, and in those 29 countries, Taiwan is the only Asian country that has legalized and recognized same-sex marriage as of May 24, 2019. Only the rights that the Japanese LGBTQ community hold are as follows. Being homosexual has been legal since 1881, after removing the clause criminalizing homosexuality from the Meiji period. Transgender people are not able to change their gender on legal documents unless they have had sex reassignment surgery. There are no laws that protect the LGBTQ community from discrimination. This applies to both housing or in the workplace. Courts have ruled discrimination in these areas justified because employers or landlords have the right to decide who lives or works in a place, and as a result, LGBTQ people and couples miss opportunities if the employer or landlord chooses for them to. Gay men are banned from donating blood due to a risk of HIV, and conversion therapy has not been banned. A disapproval and dislike towards the LGBTQ community in Japan could be due to several reasons. One of them being is that Japan is a widely homogeneous society and population. There is a strong emphasis on purity and unity among everyone. This means that a person should be unified with the same ideas, behaviors, lifestyles, etc. This homogeneity negatively affects the Japanese minorities the most because they do not fit in with the majority. As a result, they're ranked lower in the hierarchical system in Japan, which minimizes their voices and feelings to the point where they're rarely heard or understood by the government. But what can be done when this has been a part of Japanese society and culture for so long? Honestly, it's hard to say. It's possible that until this hierarchical system is taken less seriously, or the majority has more exposure to the LGBTQ community, or if the hierarchical system is completely dismantled, the LGBTQ community will have to continue to fight for the same rights as heterosexual individuals and couples. The hierarchical system also has something to do with collectivist countries versus individualist countries. Collectivist countries seem to be more likely to hold more traditional or conservative values because of the people's inclination to uphold and obey the laws of the country for the sake of unifying the people. When a country emphasizes this sort of national unity, it means trying to make everyone feel comfortable and to have respect for others, especially towards elders. In collectivist countries, people are more likely to live at home with their parents until they get married, and when a person's parents get old, you live with them to take care of them. This means that individuals in a collectivist country are more likely to conform to whatever society has told them is okay, and to not disagree or challenge these ideas, no matter how dated it is in this modernizing world. This happens because everyone is supposed to get along and unify in order for this system to function. Individualist countries tend to be more liberal in their values. Once a child reaches a certain age, they are expected to leave their home, whether that be moving into a college dorm room or completely moving to another country. A person still living with their parents is negatively labeled in individualist countries like the United States. When a person moves out, even if the home they grew up in was a traditional or conservative environment, most people develop into their own person. This means choosing your own lifestyle, like career paths, preferences in a partner, having children, food choices, and the list goes on. When a person is left on their own, they are not forced/conditioned to conform to the ideas of an elder or societal expectations, and therefore make their own opinions about life. Overall, there is no feeling of obligation in individualist countries to conform to what society says because everyone is their own person and everyone is different. But I think it's also important to discuss the role of the internet in liberalizing these traditionally conservative countries like Japan. With the internet, people are able to connect with others around the world, and with that comes the exchange of ideas and exposure to other cultures and lifestyles. Younger generations growing up during the technology age have more progressive ideas and thoughts on certain subjects due to this exposure. This exposure to minority groups, to individuals living in homogeneous societies, helps them to realize that they are equally human and therefore grow a willingness to accept them into their society. Progressive values rapidly growing among the people can be seen through data indicating that Japanese adults' acceptance of same-sex marriage has grown from 42.3% in 2015 to 78.4% in 2019. Overall, I'm excited to see how impactful this court ruling really will be, and if the Japanese LGBTQ community will finally be granted some kind of equal rights. This could even be a trend among other Eastern Asian countries.